I thought I needed content to go full-time as a producer. I stopped posting, and that's when I hit 9 top 50 records, 126 million streams, made my first 100K, and all of that with only 1,200 followers. In this video, I'm gonna show you why content was actually slowing me down and how it might be slowing you down too. So, the mistakes I was making was that I believed that I needed a massive audience to go full time. And because of that, I spent hours every single day while being busy, while working my 9 to 5, trying to figure out content instead of making beats and songs. I tried to figure out content in order to make that a source that could bring me clients, placements, and connections. However, content creation actually became a distraction for me and not a point of leverage. The reason it became a distraction was because my goal was to work directly with artists, producers, people like that, make songs, release them, and get paid for the songs. However, me creating content did not serve that goal directly, and I'm gonna break down how. Now, before I go ahead and break that down and why content might not be the right move for you either, if you want a copy of this Google Doc and to learn more about producing full-time, then I got it for free inside of my free community right here. So as you can see, people are in here getting wins. I'm in here every day helping out for free. We're having a great time. Everybody's cool, everybody's chill. So you're very welcome to join that if you're serious about producing and doing it full time. Now, back to the actual video. So as I was saying, content creation became a distraction because it wasn't serving my overall goal, because the content I was making was just a bunch of random content, and I was spending a lot of time trying to make it look good, trying to make it look cool. I even tried making memes, trying to be funny, and sure, it might have gotten me a few people checking out my page, maybe a few people listening to my beats, but it wasn't really the right people, and that's why it wasn't super high leverage for me. So what I started doing instead was that I stopped posting daily content. I started instead posting once a week, and the content I was posting was very simplistic. As you can see, the only things I started posting was me in the studio, then pictures of like proof and stuff like that. Then I would do the beat slideshows and also post all of my releases. That is the only things I started posting. And that made sense for my main objective. Because my main objective was just to work with artists, get songs made and release them. That's my main objective, and then get paid from those songs either by upfront payments or on the back end for royalties. And I wanted every single thing that I was doing to serve that main objective. And because of that, I stopped using Instagram as an entertainment channel and I started using it as a portfolio. So instead of using it as a source of traffic, I just used it as my resume. So I would post my releases. When I had records on the charts, I would post that. I would make sure to show off everything that I was doing on my Instagram so that I could use it for one-on-one networking instead. And that's what I started doing instead with the hours I was putting into content. So with one-on-one networking, all I did was that I DM'd people, so DM'd artists, producers, managers, and A&Rs, and I was intentional with it. So I would think, okay, who do I want to work with? Then, if they were big, I know that I can't just go up and DM them straight away. So then it's like, okay, who do I want to work with? Who do they know? How can I get in touch with them and form a working relationship with them where I provide value through my music and we can start working together so that I can eventually either find a good up-and-coming artist that actually has the potential to blow up and blow up together with them, or get to their bigger artist friends. DMs was one of the ways I did that. The second way I did that was by literally going to studio sessions. So if I had a producer, he was working in a session, I'll just be like, hey, let me tag along. When you get in proximity, like when you get to these sessions, then it's always easier and a little bit faster to form a real connection instead of through DMs. DMs definitely work. Most of my collaborations have happened through somebody DMing me or commenting on my stuff, me DMing them, and so on. And then you meet up in real life. But if you can meet in real life from the start, that's even better, and it makes the connection form even easier. So just to get back on track here, started going to studio sessions, events, and started sending beats directly. So instead of just spending all of my time posting into the void, hoping that somebody will actually see it relevant to me, I just took control of that and I started pushing myself in the direction of the people that I actually wanted to get in touch with. And that's why this was way more high leverage for me and my situation and my goals. Now, with that said, am I saying that content should never be made? No, I'm making content right now. But it completely depends on your goals, at least in my experience. Because when my goal was to simply work with artists and make records, why not take the most direct path, which is to actually reach out to artists, give them music, and then get in the studio, make records. Of course, branding is important, but what I've seen build a brand for real is actually having mutual followers, knowing people in their circle, having placements, records on the charts, bigger records that get a lot of attention. That's what I've personally seen help brand the most. And by doing these things, that was a more direct path and easier path than content, because content is also a skill in and of itself that's way more difficult to figure out than how to actually just DM somebody and form a connection, because we're social beings, we know how to connect with people. However, content is a whole skill in and of itself that you need to get really good at. And for that reason, it wasn't the most high leverage thing that I could be doing with my time at this stage in my journey. The outcome of this is that because I started focusing on one-on-one networking instead of just posting a bunch of random content, hoping that something would stick, I started building relationships with the right people instead of just gaining random followers. All of those 1,200 followers right here, they were almost all, of course, not everybody, but almost all the right people, meaning A&Rs, managers, artists, producers. So I built a solid network of people that I could actually work with and that could further my career. When I started doing the one-on-one networking and going to these events, going to studio sessions, then I started moving in the right circles, because the music business is a people's business. It's a lot about who you know. And if you're in the right circles, you know the right people, then you'll get the right opportunities. And with the right opportunities comes good songs, and good songs you can actually get paid for. And when I say good, I mean songs that actually perform or made by a big artist who have either a label backing him or have funds themselves to actually pay you. And here's another interesting thing, which I think we don't really think about that much, which is that the records started doing the talking. Because records are also content. And when you post that you made a record that's number 6 on the charts or whatever, that's going to bring you a whole lot of artists actually DMing you and wanting to work with you. And that's actually attracting people, rather than me making like a beat making reel or whatever. So in that sense, the songs and the things that you actually do and the releases that you have, that becomes the content. And yeah, as I mentioned, like artists that I wanted to work with, they started following me. They started reaching out to me. For example, I make a song with a friend, I release it, they hear the song is good, then they'll upload it to their story, tag me, goes into my inbox, I can DM them, we can start working. What this did was that it led to placements, payments, and a strong brand. Although I did not have a crazy content thing going, I had the right type of content. I had proof that I knew what I was doing by posting the records on the charts, posting my releases that people liked. And that shows to artists that wants to work with me that, okay, he knows what he's doing. And it shows them that, okay, he has 9 records on the top 50 charts. That means that if I work with him, he'll probably be able to make something good with me too. And then they want to work. When you grow your brand in that way, you can also start charging high prices. And it also leads to better payments, because you'll just be working with bigger artists overall, which are the people that actually have the money. And even if you so choose to do splits, then you'll still get paid more because they're actually streaming. So you'll get paid both from the master side and the publishing side, and the rates will be higher because they're actually performing. So if you have a song that streams 10 million streams compared to 1,000 streams, the amount of payment that you're going to get for the 10 million stream songs is way higher. Now, the lessons I learned is that content is a skill. And it's a skill that you have to develop, you have to build, and you have to get good at, just the same way that you got good at making beats and it took you years. Content is the same thing. And depending on your goals, might not always be the best ROI. If your goal is simply to get songs out there produced by you, then content might not be the highest leverage thing for you. And depending on your goals, your brand is mostly going to be built through connections, releases, placements, achievements, not your reels. And for some, meaning producers that wants to get placement and get songs released with their beats, songs is the real content. And that was the case for me. Then I learned that talking directly to the people that I want to work with or people related to them was a way faster and easier way for me to reach my end goals. The last lesson that I learned here is that you want to optimize for results depending on your goal, not just random visibility.